Central Asian Ring is an adventure motorcycle tour which go through such countries of Central Asia as Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan with high mountains of Pamir and Kyrgyzstan. For those who have never been to these 10 countries, their names say almost nothing. Even on the contrary, it makes them faceless, with no significant differences. At a very first glance, it may seem so, but if you take a closer look, you will see that all the countries of Central Asia are diverse and not the same at all. Each and every country has its own geographical landscape, climate, and what is more important, local people with their own culture, history, traditions and language. In order to help those who came to Central Asia for the first time to understand and see all the specific details, our motorcycle club created this unique and amazing Central Asian Ring Tour. The tour starts and finishes in the city of Almaty. There was a reason to choose the city exactly, since we suppose it is one of the most beautiful and developed cities in Central Asia, with its large park areas and fountains, surrounded by Issyk-Kul Mountains. All of the participants arrived to Almaty by the appointed date from all over the world: Germany, Australia, New Zealand and the USA. People of all ages, from 30 to 80 years old. There was even one girl, who, by the way, was the youngest one. All riders were experienced enough. Many of them had tours through South America, the Himalayas and Russian Siberia. All of these routes are considered to be rather complicated. Nevertheless, none of the participants has ever been to Central Asia before. Medeo High Mountain Skating Rink is the first sightseeing point. We usually go up to the unique Seal Dam, which was built in the 1960s and saved the city from catastrophic mudslides twice. From here, we observe a great view of Medeo, the highest mountain skating rink in the world. The next place is Mount Koktobé, where we enjoy the full view of Almaty city and mountains of Issyk-Kul. The cityscape, buildings and streets spread out before the eyes to have a closer look. After sightseeing, the participants return to the hotel to check their motorcycles before they start their wonderful journey. During motorcycle inspection, the participants and the tour mechanic inspect the main controls of the motorcycle, adjusted according to the weight and height of each participant. Some riders install their additional equipment: video cameras, GPS navigators and other devices.
I've been lucky. I've got to go to a lot of places. I've been to Alaska, I've been to South America, I've been to Northwest Territories, I've been from one end of Australia to the other. Yeah, so I've been pretty fortunate. I've been to the Himalayas, did a big ride there. Unfortunately, my wife keeps giving me a leave pass, so I can go do some more.
As all motorcycles are checked and papers signed, we have some time to continue our sightseeing tour. This time we visit the park of 28 Panfilov Guardsmen. The park is named after 28 warriors who heroically fought and died during the Second World War. This is a significant place for both Almaty citizens and people of the whole country, since many Kazakhstani people left for war, and unfortunately the biggest part of them never came back, sacrificing their lives for for present generations to live freely and happily. The next spot is the Ascension Cathedral, also known as Zenkov Cathedral, built in 1898, which is situated in the same park. This beautiful church is made out of wood with no metal elements used. In the beginning of the 20th century, it sustained an earthquake of magnitude of 11 when the rest of the buildings were seriously damaged. Here, the city tour ends, and the participants are ready to go to a restaurant for gala dinner to honor the start of their Central Asian journey.
So we've got a GPS here which will just track what we do. It's not going to tell us where to go, we're relying on Mario for that.
Be okay, I hope so.
I skidded down the road in Myanmar and it wasn't until weeks later I saw that.
Today our distance from Almaty to Taraz, 500 kilometers.
Early in the morning, the group leaves Almaty riding their motorcycles, having 3 long weeks ahead. On this day, the group travels to the south of Kazakhstan, to the city of Taraz. The tour participants will travel a distance of more than 500 kilometers. This is one of the longest part of the tour, and it passes through the famous highway of Western China to Western Europe. Construction of this road began in 2008 from the city of Lianyungan in China to St. Petersburg in Russia. The road was built to strengthen economic and cultural relationship between Europe and Asia. Total length of the road is 8,445 kilometers, and almost 3,000 kilometers of the road passes through the Republic of Kazakhstan. That is where the route of Central Asian Ring begins. Here it is allowed to drive on the speed of 110 kilometers per hour, when on the other roads the speed limit is only 90 kilometers per hour. The road is wide and smooth, as generally the rest landscape of Kazakhstan. For some riders, these roads and landscapes seem to be boring, but others, on the contrary, say that such smooth riding allows to enjoy your trip peacefully, reflecting on life without being distracted by various obstacles. As the tour provider, we have our own opinion on this matter. It is believed that this road is simply necessary for this tour, since this is the only way to experience vast territories of Kazakhstan, which is known for its endless steppe. But the most interesting thing about this road is that it runs along the legendary Silk Road route, as evidenced by archaeological excavations. On this way, we stop for short breaks to have lunch and some rest. The group arrives in the city of Taraz by the evening.
Day 1 down, it's a pretty warm day, but hey, we're in some flat stuff, but we're hitting the good stuff.
Was very nice, for a very good trip. We had good kilometers, and the weather was too hot, but fine.
Taraz is a very ancient city which appeared in the first centuries before Christ. However, in the beginning of the 13th century, it was completely destroyed by the army of Genghis Khan, as the city tried to resist. Therefore, buildings from that ancient period did not survive. All we have are archaeological facts. It is a modern city now. From Taraz, we head towards Uzbekistan border. On this day, we expect to visit Tashkent, the capital of Uzbekistan. Passing Kazakh-Uzbek border is like having a lottery. You never know how long this process will take you. And this time, we beat a record time-wise. Eventually, it took us 6.5 hours to cross the border. Even our experienced travelers were pretty much surprised. Anyway, we crossed the border and entered Tashkent in the dark. It was already impossible to visit any of the sites of the city since everything was closed. Nevertheless, the mood of the riders remained good, and that's the most important thing.
It was quite freezing because I didn't have a jacket on, and then waiting for 8 hours at the border station, and now driving through the beautiful city of Tashkent, which actually could have been quite nice, but when you're tired, sweaty, and you get all the exhaust fumes, I'm really looking forward for a cool beer.